Hello, my name is Yusef Edwards, and welcome to part 70 of the movie revolution. Let us begin. So, Abigail was laying down next to her wife on her bed, on their bed rather, when she had an interesting thought. What if, excuse me, her, her parents and her wife ate breakfast this morning? Yeah, they were going, yeah. She said to herself, yeah, what if we just went out to go eat some breakfast together? And so she woke her wife up and she asked her, babe, how would you feel about eating breakfast with my parents? And Margaret says, well, that's a good idea. That's a great idea, honey. No problem. I would love that idea, she said to her wife. And so she went she went out of bed. She came out her bed. She hopped off her bed rather. And then she went into the living room. And then she woke her parents up. And then she says, hey, hey guys, if you don't mind, since you are sitting here for a little while, why don't we go out for breakfast tonight, this morning? She says. And then her parents says, collectively, of course, yes, we would love to. So, Abigail went into the bathroom to get ready for the morning. And, Margaret went to the guest room to, get everybody, but by this time, everybody had left. Everybody had left the house by that point, and everybody had left the house by that point, and now it was just Sally, Abigail, Abigail's parents, and of course Margaret. And Margaret came into the guest bedroom to see to wake Sally up for breakfast because they were all going to go to breakfast at that particular point in time. And so Sally so Margaret was like trying to wake her up. Finally she does wake up and she's a little bit grouchy and she says, what exactly are you doing? What exactly are you doing exactly? And Margaret says, well, first of all, I'm sorry that I woke you up from your sleep. And second of all, I have some good news. That was the bad news. What I just did, that was the bad news. And what I'm about to say now, that is the good news. So the good news. Um, you, do you want to go out to eat some breakfast with the Do you want to go out and eat some breakfast with us? She says. And then Sally says, cool, I would love to. Let me just get ready. So she goes into the other bathroom that is in the guest bedroom, by the way, which has a shower, like all the other children you need to get ready for the day or at night. And she says to herself, that was relatively easy. relatively speaking, of course. And then she just leaves the guest room. She just leaves the guest bedroom and goes back to the room to talk to Abigail's parents for a while. And and then she sits down on the couch and she says, "So how was Peru? How was everything? How was Mexico? I want to know everything." And and her parents says, "Well, it was pretty nice. It was every country that we have visited was very nice actually. I have nothing but great things to say about it. Maybe we can maybe we can say some good stuff as we go into the when we're eating, because I don't necessarily feel like this is the right time. But maybe while we're eating breakfast, I would love to tell you about it over breakfast." Well, Abigail's father says, and then Abigail's mom says, "Yeah, but what I can tell you is that you know, the fish was amazing in Peru, and I love that very much." And so, of course, and so to make a long story short, Abigail gets out of the shower, gets dressed. Her parents get into the shower one by one. Eventually, they get dressed, and the only holdout is Sally and Margaret, who at that particular point in time was about to get in the shower, and and Sally was just about to get out. And she had just got out of the shower, and it was about that time where she was about to get dressed. And so she was about to get dressed, and everything was about to go well. And then she heard gunshots. She doesn't know where they came from, but maybe someone is maybe someone is shooting a gun in the air to celebrate the final day of Apple Day, of course, which is tradition. So she didn't pay any mind, as she shouldn't, of course. So anyway, she continues getting dressed, Sally that is, and Abigail is like, just getting dressed too. She had just got out of the shower. Margaret was about to get in, and everybody was about to, go for a breakfast. Her father, Abigail's father, did not go into the shower yet, so it was his turn after everybody had gone. And then he decided that he was gonna go a little bit early, so he just ran into the bathroom to get into a quick shower. And so everybody was having a good time, just talking to Abigail's mom whilst whilst her dad was going into the guest shower, and everything was going well for him, and he was about to get out, and he does get out of the shower. He grabs the towel, washes himself off, dries himself off, and dries his long blonde hair off too, and he just goes into the rest of the guest bedroom. He just goes into the guest bedroom, grabs his suitcase after, because the suitcase was there too. He goes into the living room, by the way, grabs his suitcase because he was sleeping on the couch, and his suitcase was right next to him. And in case just in case he needed something to do, just in case something happened, of course. And so he grabbed his suitcase, and then he grabbed his clothes, of course, and he got dressed. Nothing too fancy, just nothing too fancy, but nothing too casual. Because they were going to a fancy breakfast restaurant, of course. And they were about to leave. And everybody was like, hi. And then they were leaving the house. So Abigail opens the door for her wife and the rest of the family. And all of a sudden, as they were walking out, guess who comes? Guess who comes towards them? It was, of course, Peter who comes right next to them. And she said, hey, so what are you doing, guys? And then Abigail said, well, we're going to eat some breakfast. Do you want to come? And then Peter said, no problem. I'd love to come. And so now everybody was coming to and so now it was a full house, so to speak, of course. And so they were like having a good time. They were like, and they were fitting into this car, right? Like a million people, but also Peter had a car, and so Sally elected to go with her because she didn't want to like be claustrophobic or anything like that. And so she says to Abigail, okay, I'm going to her car so it would be more easier for you to, well, move me back and forth, you know what I mean? So she did. She goes to, and that's what she did. She goes to, Peter's car, and, they were just riding to the restaurant, of course. And then, and so fast forward to them walking in. They pull up to the restaurant, and they open the door. It was a full house. It was packed, but they still managed to find a table. Like, luckily, of course, and they were just having a good time talking to each other. And Peter was having a good time getting away from her troubles, spending time with her friends and her new friends and newer friends. She got to know Abigail's parents a lot more, and because she didn't know them at the party that much, despite the conversation that they did have with that she did have with Abigail's dad, but that was a brief conversation, and so at the party, and so they got to talk a little bit more, and they were just having a good time eating their food, and just having a great time eating their food together. You know what I mean? And so they finished their food. Um, you know, so they finished their food, and Sally decided that she wanted to spend time with Peter for a while. And she asked Margaret, was that okay? And Margaret says, sure, no problem. Um, make sure to come back at 8, if you don't mind, of course. Yeah, don't. It's not a big deal, but I would really like you to be at home at 8, because we have a big dinner plan, and, I want to see that commercial again with you and my wife. And the parents, too. So if you don't mind being home at 8, if you don't want to, that's fine too, but, it'll be a little bit disappointing, but not by much. You'll get to whatever you want, she says. And Tyler says, No problem. I'll be there. Hey, no big deal. And so, and so, Sally and Peter went into Peter's car once again, and they drove off to the White House to spend some time together. Whilst the other, whilst Abigail, her mom, well, Abigail's mom and Abigail's dad and Margaret, Abigail's wife, went back home to spend some more time together. So they get into the car. Um, so they get into the car, right? Everybody's having a great time, and they're catching up. They're catching up. You know what I mean? Um, well, Margaret asks for some marriage advice. You know what I mean? Because you never can be too careful in her mind. And of course, her mom gives it to her. Of course, Abigail's mom gives it to her, of course. And and her dad gives her some advice too. Everybody just having a good time, you know what I mean? Abigail's the driver, and everybody just having a good time. So they get home, they open the door, and they and all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden, as if um the meal before wasn't enough, Abigail, I mean, decides to eat some ice cream as they were talking. So she goes into the fridge, gets some ice cream, sits on the couch along with her mom, and they both share ice cream together. And Margaret and the dad of Abigail is like, wow, they just ate. That's a little bit weird. Want to join them? And inside, well, Margaret says, nah. And so they just go into the living room. At least, well, you know, they go into the living room, um, and they just sit along with their wives, just having a good time together, watching television. To be continued. Well, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, ring that little bell notification to get notified. While still at it, share the video, comment on the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.